So I have to wonder, Cap, if this isn't about a person that you haven't been with for quite some time already because of the Ten of Cups being the overall. I kind of look at that as, how do we continue the happiness that we have? Or are we letting things fall apart, right? And I say that because of the Tower showing up. But the overall here is about whether or not we're truly, truly happy with this. But I think that there is going to be a serious conversation about that coming out. Because I don't think that you want things to fall apart with this person. And I don't think that they're intentionally trying to do anything to ruin the relationship with you. But I have to wonder with that High Priestess. But the thing is you with the Two of Wands, I think that, for them, in the past, it was one of those things where I don't necessarily think that they're bottling up anything or like keeping secrets from you. I think it was one of those things where they were waiting and watching to see what you were going to do because of you showing the Two of Wands. So this kind of shows how, your relationship started with this person. Now, with the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles, when you have the two kings meeting like that, it's usually showing that the both of you are embodying that. Whether you're male or female and whether your partner is male and female, it doesn't matter. You're coming in with this wisdom and experience. You showing the King of Cups, but here's what's interesting to me because I'm looking at it this way. So you're seeing them as the King of Cups. They are seeing you as the King of Pentacles. So with the King of Cups, this is going to be, somebody who speaks in a way where everything that they describe comes from an I feel type of place. So I feel like this, or I feel this way about this situation. That's kind of how they would communicate to you. You, on the other hand, with the King of Pentacles, I think that they may be looking at you as somebody who is, very grounded, very stable, very dependable, and very successful. And you may be like a huge moneymaker here. You know what I mean? Like, I really feel like that's how they're looking at you. But, there's a little bit of hesitation with the way that it kind of moves out, because the thing is they may be appearing as though they are in control of their emotions, but because of them reverting to the Page of Cups, it makes me wonder if it isn't something about this person's personality that makes you think they're a lot, but not in like a Ten of Wands type of way. It's like one of those things where it's like you're having to find time to deal with them. But then I also feel like with the Two of Pentacles, it's always this feeling of somebody who's trying to keep things going, right? Keeping things up in the air, the juggling act, And I don't think that for you, it's, do you continue to do this or do you continue to make another choice? Now, for some of you, that may be the case. You may be looking at the person that you're focused on now and going, do I really want to be involved with this person? Or should I have taken a different course of action, and you're not really fully committing to this just yet? But I think that the reason why that happens is because of the way that they start communicating to you. And again, it's an I feel type of thing. They, I don't think, really know how to process the way that they feel. And what I worry about here is if that is the case, then what action is it that they're taking? But I would like to look at it as they're being genuine about, their emotions toward you. But the thing is the way that you kind of like come into the middle of this, because I really feel like this is you, again, whether you're male, female, doesn't matter to me. But this is like, we need to have a serious conversation right now. And it makes me wonder if, there weren't like plans to have like a more long lasting situation. So like, for instance, especially with the Tower being there, if there were plans to like move in together or to buy a home or, to start your lives together, right? If that's not like falling apart because of this person's, emotional issues, And that may not have been something that you are aware of, though, with the High Priestess, right? And with the Eight of Wands, it's either going to be about the situation moving quickly in a different direction, or it's very quickly going to collapse and it's going to be done after there is this serious conversation going on. And this is, we're not playing games anymore. We're looking for honesty, direct answers. I don't want to hear any kind of like emotional garbage or anything that is fake. And I think that that's what the Queen of Swords is saying here. But I think that this person would have a difficult time trying to explain the way that they feel to you. But the thing is whatever it is they're feeling, it moves into this place where, you know, it's close. It's close to collapsing in, you know, either we're wiping the slate clean with this person, or this relationship with them is just not gonna work. You know, especially with that Two of Pentacles being above that for you. You know, so I don't think that it would affect you horribly, because I still think that you're going back to this place thinking about, well, I chose to do this. I have to wonder, though, if it's like a hurry up and wait kind of thing for them, though. Like they just want to get to the next stage almost with the Eight of Wands, besides the conversations that you have to have. But I also feel like distance with that too, because the Eight of Wands for me is like never face-to-face communication. But it's interesting the way that you're looking at it. So you have, you know, an opportunity to kind of start again here, because what you believed about this person, about this relationship is kind of, you know, collapsing here. We're wiping the slate clean. You know, we're not going to let it fall apart to where there's going to be a horrible ending or anything like that. So this is a good indicator here that if things can be corrected, or if they show that they can take some responsibility for their actions, that, you know, there can be this opportunity here with the Ace of Wands. But what's interesting is the way that you look at it. Yeah, it's there, and you may have chosen to take this path before, but with the Hermit, this is where we start to see a little bit more distance. You know, they want to create like hope that, you know, the situation can be fixed, that we can do this, but they need to do something here. It's like they should have done it before, though. That's what I feel like. They should have been doing something that was going to make this, you know, an overall happy situation. But it's like they're falling on their responsibilities. Like they can't follow through on that. If I could talk right, for Christ's sakes. But the Hermit, you know, I also look at this as not just I need to go my own way, but I really need to consider this. So I'm going to have to take some distance for a minute. And with the Star being there, you know, and they're kind of like left waiting, but it's not like a hangman thing, you know, but they're needing to show some restraint, especially with the Eight of Wands being there. But I think that they're willing to do that. But for you, with the Seven of Pentacles after that, was it really worth the pain? Was it really worth the pain? Everything that, you know, you've put into this, and this is what you have to show, right? Maybe it is time to take a different path, you know? Maybe out of, you know, this situation falling apart, there will be, you know, a better opportunity for you. But I don't know that it can be with this person. But that really depends on them, you know? And if they're having issues, they're going to have to do, you know, some self-healing though too. So this could be a conversation where you're not very happy with the fact that they may be backing out on you, because it's like, well, I'm sorry, but, you know, I have to take care of these things. And, you know, I don't want to stop seeing you, but, right, I'm in this place where I need to keep my balance. And for you, it's so different. It's so different. It's almost like, okay, well, then I'm doing things on my own. Is it really worth investing in anymore? You know, and you're not playing games with this person. But you're getting caught up with the passion of this anyway. I think that maybe there are some things that you may be getting to know about this person that doesn't make you comfortable. Oh my goodness. So With the Knight of Wands and the High Priestess, now we could very simply be saying that this is a relationship that we're keeping secret. And I have to wonder if for some of you, this isn't like a long distance relationship, or, you know, somebody that you met online or through like a dating app or something. And we're not really talking about this yet because we don't know what's going to happen, but we're getting caught up in the passion, right? Now, on the other hand, for some of you, you may not have known that somebody has felt that way about you, or they didn't know that you felt that way about them with the High Priestess. But once the secret is revealed, we're getting swept up here with the Knight of Wands. And then you immediately move into a relationship. And with the Six of Wands, now typically, or the Six of Swords, my bad. Typically, this one is about having like sex in weird places. Okay. But I look at it as like bridging the gap, closing the distance between the two of you. So it's like we're already getting carried away with something that we're really not sure about with the High Priestess. But here this relationship is being started, and then there's this contact. But as you're getting to know this person with the Eight of Swords, it's like it's not comfortable for you. And with the King of Wands, you could be dealing with male, female, possibly fire here. But, you know, I always look at him as somebody who's very like touchy-feely, passionate, right? But that may be too much for you. I think that the passion at a distance was like almost easier to do, you know, but that's typically what happens when we're in long distance relationships, right? Like, I want to meet you, you know, I want to know if I'm going to feel this way when we're standing right next to each other. And I don't think that this person has a problem, but I feel like it's more so that Cap is like a little bit, I don't want to say turned off. And then the Four of Wands, maybe just a little bit too much fun and it's not serious enough. And I think that that's the problem. So, you know, you kind of get past the doubts here with the Seven of Wands. Once, you know, the distance between you has been closed, right? Like, oh my God, if I could talk right, you guys know what I mean. Once you make contact, I think that, you know, you may be doubting on where this relationship is going to go, but I think what makes you uncomfortable is that this person is like having a fantastic time and you are too, but where is the seriousness in this, you know? And like I said, that may be the problem for you, but it's very specifically about something that you're getting to know about this person. But I think that this is directed towards the Capricorns here that are looking at, you know, long distance relationships, or a relationship where, you know, you didn't have a chance to open up about how, you know, you feel about them, you. But we have to find time to connect, and when you do, it kind of changes things. But I don't think that you're wanting something serious. That's what I feel like. But I also think that there's something about this person's personality that may throw you off a little bit. The Ten of Swords, as far as the past goes, it could very well be that, you know, the relationship at one point came to an end because there wasn't enough warmth, enough love, the things that you needed, comfort and dependability from a person. That may caused a situation to come to an end. But I also feel like for some of you, you're on that verge, and you have been for some time. Because even if you are getting, you know, back together with this person, because I don't think that you're meeting somebody new. I really don't. I think that this person comes through in a new way to you that brings up the romance, right? Because you're talking about like the classic romance with the Five of Pentacles. But something has been lost, though, because of the way that you come into this. And with the Six of Pentacles, there's still something that is very much lacking for you. Feeling neglected, and like your partner sees this but isn't doing anything about it. But at the same time, they're acting oblivious, like everything is fine, but clearly, you know, you're not happy. But I have to question this Knight of Cups, because there's two feelings that I'm getting off of this. Cap, if you're in a relationship right now, where you're not exactly getting the fulfillment that you want, but you still have these romantic feelings for them. If you are like stepping out here, or you're just kind of doing your day to day, like, yeah, that's great that you're happy and all, but I got stuff to do, I'll see you later, whatever. That Knight of Cups could be a different encounter that you're having. For some of you, it's just that the way that this person is acting just isn't, doing it for you. It's not making you happy like you should be. Because I'm looking at this and I'm looking at this. Oh, listen to me, please. And again, if you're happy and you're happy in your relationship, you don't need a message. Go be happy, right? Spend time together, have fun, enjoy those moments. This is going to be for somebody who is struggling with someone in particular here. And man, somebody may be putting themselves out there to you because they know that you're not happy. And that's a bad situation with that Three of Swords. I'm telling you. This is about somebody who needs to get the courage to leave a situation that is not making them happy. But the thing is behind closed doors, look at it, right? The relationship is going to end if there's not enough attention being given. But the thing is that this person makes you really happy. Now, like I said before, the relationship may have ended, but the thing is that there is still this romance. You still feel the same way about each other, but you're still lacking something. And it makes me wonder, does your partner know? Because somebody is oblivious to the fact that somebody is not truly, truly happy here. And I think it's you, Cap. But this, I don't think, is something that you intentionally attracted. I think it's the other way around. I think it's about somebody who's putting themselves out there to get your attention. But they may have been wanting you to break up. Because this really shows somebody in the background here casting spells. Like, I want them to separate, right? So it's not like somebody has been watching what's going on, but they've been literally hoping that you would just break up with them because they may want to be with you. Oh my God. The shit that I get from this, I'm telling you. I would just be careful, Cap. If you're not happy in your relationship, don't get yourself caught up in something that you know isn't right. And don't make yourself available for the attention of somebody else. You got to take care of this situation first. If you're going to end it, end it. If you're going to end it and then get back together, give it a chance, right? But, ooh, man, new love. Yeah, I still think that it's this person that you've been in a relationship with that's coming to you as a new person. But I also think that there is a new person that may be stirring something up in you, though, too.